Again, welcome back class 11 in our online class. I have been from last video I have started chapter number 2, and where in that topic I have discussed about what is states and what are the different elements of the states. There are 4 elements of the states, that is sovereignty, population, territory and government. We talked about different elements on that. Now today we will be discussing about state and the government. Okay, so this state and government, it has a different meaning and different understanding in the field of political science. Without understanding state and government, the whole narratives of political science and in the contemporary world cannot be understood or cannot be understand. And basically these are the things that revolves in each and every country around the globe. So let's proceed. So what is like, the heading itself says state and the government. These two are two independent topics, okay, but it is related. It has a deeper relationship when in terms of working mechanism of a state. So let's understand what is the meaning of government. Government means state works through its agency. State works to its agency or political organization, the government, which uses the sovereign power of the state by making and implementing laws and policies of the state, as well as adjudicating disputes among the citizens of the state. So this one is very simple, okay. It has all it over the year, over this part, this first bullet point, one has talked about legislature, then it has talked about executive, and it has talked about judiciary. Okay, so what does this mean? Legislature formulates law, executive executes law, and judiciary provides justice. Okay, justice. So it is state has a mechanism called government. Okay, so government has its 3 wings, okay, legislative, executive and judiciary. With these 3 organs, govern a state uses sovereign power. Sovereign power means a supreme rule or supreme authority. Okay, rule or authority. So, and whenever there will be like lawmaking body, executive means one who executes the laws, and judiciary is that body that settles down disputes. Understood? So by seeing these point, the government always works to secure the ends of the state. I will repeat, the government always work to secure the end of the state. So ends of the state is just that it is like completely at the end it successfully meets the needs of the citizen. Okay, so demands of citizens, because if this mechanism, like the mechanism of government and with its 3 organs, does their work judiciously, then what happens, the means of the states at the end of the time will be good, and government maintains laws and order and security and integrity of the state. Who men like it is the government of a state who sees that there is law and order and maintains security also, and integrity out here means, integrity means like being honest. Okay, being honest, being honest, and like they and state do have certain moral principles, okay, to follow. So I guess till here you have understood the explanation. Moving forward, now we are talking about like this one was just meaning. Now let's understand the definition, okay? Definition of government. So, according to Garner, government is the collective names for the agency. Government is the collective names for the agency, magistracy, or organization through which the will of the state is formulated, and the will of the state is making laws, by making laws and policies, okay, laws and policies, and expressed implementation and realized by education. So this is simple, okay. Garner has used different words to explain the same meaning, that is will. Legislature means the legislature is the body who formulates laws and policies, and executive is that body of a government who executes the law, means implements the law. And realize means execute. If the realize means if that policy is good or bad, and if there are certain issues that needs to be solved within this within the state, they are done by this one. So that is why, now moving forward, that is why each government has their own three organs, that is legislative, executive, and judiciary. So these words also resembles the same thing. Will resembles legislature, express means executive, and realize means judiciary. So Garner has beautifully used the words so that the understanding will be clear, because it is this one, like will has different meaning, expressed has different meaning, and realized has different meaning. So he has beautifully used the words that will totally relate about the narratives of three organs of the government, okay. Moving forward, in simple words, government is working machinery. In simple words, government is a working machinery of the state, which uses the state authority and power over all people living in the territory of the state. So government is what? Government is a working machinery of the state. Now I'll just make you understand like this. State is there, okay. So government is there. Government acts as a machinery, okay, and uses the state's authority. Who uses state's authority means sovereignty or supreme power. Uses state's authority or a power over whom? Over the people, over the people of that particular state living in that particular territory, okay, understood. So it's a hierarchical process. So it is a machinery which makes and enforces laws of the state, which makes and enforces laws of the state. Simple. Legislature plus executive. No state can work without government. So if there is state but no government, then what happens? No government, the state's existence will not be there. State's existence will not be there, okay. So it's very simple. Now let's understand the features of government. Number one feature, government is an organization or a machinery or a magistracy of the state which expresses authority of the state. What? Government is an organization which expresses the authority of the state. Number two, in the era of democracy, a government really means an elected representative government. So, in the era of democracy, now democracy is there. Democracy is a form of government, or a form or a philosophy that that a country follows. India follows democracy, and India is considered as a uh, truest form of democratic country. So in democracy, one needs to elect our representatives by the mechanism called voting, or called voting, either l- election. Okay. The- so uh, government really means an elected representative government which is elected by the people. We people elect of the people of the state, and which exercises the authority on behalf of the people of the state. So once a person gets if a person becomes elected, and he wins the election, then that particular representative will represent us in the people of the state. Okay, there are three functions of the government. Okay, three functions of the government. Number one is lawmaking. Number two is implementation of laws and running administration of the state, and adjudication of all disputes in the basis of interpretation of laws and their applications to the specific cases. So, first function of a government is lawmaking, then is executing laws and sees how the mechanism is running and administrative section is running out and performing their duties well enough to give a good life to the citizen. And third one is to see, the government sees if there is certain kind of disputes, or if there is certain kind of conflicts between certain people, and they can refer to the cases that has happened before and their application, how it was solved, etc., and all totally discussed by the government. So these are the basic functions that a government does in every country. Moving forward, the previous mentioned three functions of the government are performed by three organs. So I have discussed three functions like lawmaking, implementation, and adjudication, right? So these functions are performed by different organs, as I've said. Okay, and the discussed functions are done by different organs. Number one is legislature, number two is executive, and judiciary. It's very simple. From the beginning of my lecture only, I have given this points: legislative, executive, judiciary. I am continuously speaking about these three terms that is required to understand the whole narratives of the state and the mechanism of the state. So this one, legislature or a parliament, means or a parliament which makes laws. Simple. Executive, which implements the laws and runs the state administration. Okay, administrative part, administrative or bureaucracy or bureaucratic part. Okay, and judiciary means which settles all the disputes. Which settles all the disputes. So it's very simple that you can understand. Okay, moving forward, now, we are talking about the government, right? We are not talking about the state, but we are totally talking about the government today. Now, the government can be of several different types around the world. So, number one is monarchy, king, queen. Okay. Uh, this one, monarchy, means the rule by king or queen. Okay. Previously, it used to be there, but Britain too has monarchy. Okay, now moving aristocracy. Aristocracy is that this is certain form of a government where there is a highest class of certain societies will be there. Okay, highest classes of certain societies are typically comprising of the nobles with hereditary character, and democracy, rule of where there is power of the people, or self rule. Okay, parliamentary and presidential form of government. Parliamentary, where PM is the head, and presidential means president is the head. And unitary federal means mixture. Okay, like India, Because unitary means the power is vested on central government. Unitary, okay, power is vested on central government. So the federal means the several states come together and they form a unity, okay, they form a unity. So different different states come together to form one state. Plus USA is also federal country. Authoritarian, totalitarian, and dictator, like this one is the poorest form of government, where one will be the person who will rule the whole country. Dictator like Hitler. A totalitarian, few will rule. There will be no self rule. There will be no any freedom of any kind of mass media. There will be no such freedom for the citizens, okay. So this is the worst for me, it is the worst form of the government. So this much you have understood, okay. You have discussed about, we have talked about features of government, we have talked about functions of the government and the different organs of the government. So this is the some different several forms of government. Now let's talk about difference between state and government. Till now you have understood what is state and what is government. So let's understand the difference between what are what why they are different with each other. A government is an element of a state, okay. Government means an element of a state. A state has four essential elements. So government is out here, okay. Government is only one element of the state, one element of the state. It is just one part of the state which acts for the state. So government is only one mechanism from other four mechanism. This one, government, is one mechanism which works for the state, okay. So government is an agency or an agent of the state. Government is one agency, or we can consider agents of the state. Government, like, government is an agency of the state. It acts for the state, okay. It is that agency which formulates the will of the state into laws, implements the laws of the state, and realizes conformity of the laws. And it is magistracy of the state which exercises power and authority on the behalf of the state. On the behalf of state, the government acts as a power holder, in terms of making any kind of authority power over the people of that state. So now let's talk about state. State is abstract. Government is concrete. This one, the meaning of abstract means existing, like existing in the form of idea, okay. So state is abstract, government is concrete. State is a concept. State is a concept, an idea, or a name used to denote a community of a person living on a definite territory and organized for the exercise of sovereignty. So it every time revolves around the same thing, okay. State cannot be seen, but the government is made by the people of the state, because we people vote the representative, and that representative will be the part of bigger political party. Then if that political party gets a majority of vote, then it will form a government. Simple. Government involves one particular part of the population of the state, okay. The whole population of the part. Government is the whole population of the part. In India, around 55 political representatives, MPs and MLAs are represented to the total population of about than 120 crore and willed political party, okay. So India has about 120 crore, and on that we have just 555 5,500 political representatives or political representatives who represents the country as a whole. Okay, so government involves only a particular part of the population of the state. Okay, so membership of state is compulsory but not of government. Membership, if anyone asks the basic question, from where you came from, either you'll say India, either you say your state's name. Okay, either Sikkim, either Bihar, either West Bengal, you'll give that name, no? So membership of a state is compulsory but not of government. Okay, all people are the citizens of the state. They together constitute the population of the state. Each one gets the membership, that is citizenship of the state, automatically right at the time of one's birth and continues to live life as such. Membership of government is not automatic. Membership of government is not automatic, but anyone can voluntarily seek an election, get elected as a representative of a people, and become the part of the government. So this is very simple. Okay, you can just analyze yourself only how this working mechanism takes place. And it is like social science is, we social science students, or we the bunch of fellows who belong to the social science, we have to seek our own laboratory in society. Science, natural sciences do have their laboratories within the fold concrete walls, but we don't have. So it is related. Every now and then elections are happening, every now and then so incidents are happening, conflicts are happening, and the government will be there in interviewing them and telling that there will be dispute settlement managements and so on and so forth. So in that way only you have to retrospect how this state and government runs. So it's very simple. The voluntary, if you want to become a member of government, one should volunteer, like he should get like ticket and get elected. He should win the election and he should represent the political party if from certain area, then he becomes the part of the government. Okay, so but the membership of state is like it see, when a person is like when a person is born, he or she gets the ticket, or ticket like saying that he or she belongs to a particular country. It is automatic. Okay, so the membership of government is not automatic. So sovereignty belongs to the state and not government. So sovereignty belongs to a state because its state is a supreme power holder, and it is like abstract. State is abstract. Okay, sovereignty is the hallmark of state. It belongs to the state. The government exercises only definite limited power. It draws its powers from the constitution of the state. So how state is there, okay, but how the power is driven from the state with the help of a constitution that is formed, okay, formed on the basis of what state wants. So it derives from the constitution of state. Government derives supreme power from the constitution of the state. Territory belongs to state, not to the government. Okay, the state has a sovereign ownership and jurisdiction over the territory. The laws made by the government are applicable to all parts of the territory of the state, but territory belongs to state and not to the government. It's very simple. Territory does not belong to the government, it belongs to the state. Boundary, territory means boundary. So every state has uniform four essential elements. Simple. However, the forms and features of government differ from state to the state. Okay. It has four elements: population, territory, government, and sovereignty. So population of a state can be either more or less. Territory can be small or large. Okay, government means it can follow democracy, it can follow monarchy, it can follow aristocracy, it can follow presidential or parliamentary form of government, so on and so forth. And sovereignty, supreme power. So it is very simple. Every state has uniform. every state has uniform elements, that is population, territory, and government, but these forms and features are like differ from different countries to countries or state to state. However, government can be different forms such as parliament and president, unitary, federal, or mixture of these, monarchical, aristocracy, democratic, or dictatorship. So state is permanent, government is temporary. State was there at when SDF was there. Sikkim as a state was there. Okay, Sikkim as the state was there, but government is changed. Okay, now the government is SK. So it's very simple to understand. State is permanent, government is temporary. Government come and go regularly on 5 or 10 or 15 years. Okay, after every election a new government is formed. State is permanent. It's very simple. Like you just need to have a peace of a mind and just read it and retrospect what this word tries to tell. Okay, so today I have completed state and government. Please do your works and like submit your notes on time so that it will not get piled up, and like at the end of every chapter there are certain questions and answers you need to solve it, so that the habit will automatically develop in yourself, because you are not a kid anymore. You are students of +2, like going to be students. Like, please do your work judiciously. Until then, stay safe and take care.